What's up guys, so the absolute powerhouse Ruan Mei will be dropping very soon and I just want to go through her kit and if it's worth summoning for her. But I'm sure everyone knows at this point how valuable she really is. Before that, please consider subscribing to the channel for more Honkai content, would extremely appreciate it, and if you do enjoy the video, drop a like. Okay, Ruan Mei, her full kit was revealed, so let's dive into it. Ruan Mei is a support character capable of increasing allies' weakness break efficiency, speed, and all type res penetration at the same time. Ruan Mei can also deal additional break damage whenever allies' weakness break an enemy, causing the weakness broke enemy's actions to be further delayed. Essentially, Ruan Mei will allow your team to break the shield of enemies a lot quicker, increase the speed of the team so you can have a lot more turns before the enemy has their turn, increase the damage dealt from the team from increased res penetration, and on top of that, Ruan Mei will weakness break enemies again once they gain their shield back. So their shield is delayed again. Ruan Mei is basically trying to push for your team to blitz the enemies before they even get a turn, which sounds pretty crazy. If you have enough DPS in team with Ruan Mei, you won't need a healer or even a tank as you're just trying to clear through the enemies as quick as possible. So there will be quite a few team comps worth using with Ruan Mei, which I would consider a lot more fun as there is no need to heal or tank, which makes the game kind of slow. You can just blitz through everything. Now her traces, kicking it off with the first one being increases break effect for allies. Pretty simple but synchronizes well with her kit as Ruan Mei's go-to is to allow her allies to break shields on enemies a lot more easily. So her first trace being literally that, I am expecting it to be very easy to break shields on enemies. The second trace is Ruan Mei regenerates energy at the start of her turn. Another simple yet effective trace as Ruan Mei's ult is going to be huge, so if she's able to regen extra energy to allow her to pop the ult a lot more often, I'm all for it. The third trace now. In battle, when Ruan Mei's break effect is greater than a certain percentage, every percent that it exceeds that percentage would allow her skill to additionally increase her allies' damage up to a certain amount. Ruan Mei is looking to be a god tier support. All she is doing is increasing the damage for her allies and so many different things to help the team. It seems like building break effect on Ruan Mei will be the way to go since you will be able to increase the damage increase for your team, depending on how much break effect she has. As it says a certain amount that you can increase the damage increase for allies, so we will be able to see how much exactly when she drops that you will need. Okay, now moving on to her technique, and my god, a lot is happening here. Ruan Mei obtains Silken Serenade when using her technique. At the start of battle, automatically triggers Ruan Mei's skill for one time without consuming skill points. Okay, so this allows your team to deal extra damage without having to speed tune your team to make sure Ruan Mei goes first. Supports like Bronya and Tingyun, you would likely want to build them with the most speed so you can make sure to buff your DPS and deal extra damage right away. So now with Ruan Mei, it will be less of a hassle to build her relics as speed won't be as important, and the cherry on top is skill point efficiency. With the team comps Ruan Mei will enable, they are likely going to be skill point heavy consisting of multiple DPS characters. So those skill points will be very valuable. So Ruan Mei allowing for skill point efficiency allows these teams to be ran more easily. The second part to Ruan Mei's technique now is in the simulated universe. When Ruan Mei has Silken Serenade, allies actively attacking enemies will always be regarded as attacking their weakness to enter battle, and this can reduce all enemies' toughness regardless of weakness types. So if you're attacking an enemy that only has ice and wind weakness, let's just say, if I have Ruan Mei's technique active, my Kafka will attack the enemy as if they have lightning weakness and will be able to apply the lightning effect onto the enemies in battle. Additionally, the toughness of enemies being the shields they have will also be reduced regardless of the attribute you attack with, so breaking these shields on enemies in simulated universe is going to be a piece of cake with Ruan Mei. Also, for every blessing in possession up to a certain amount, increases the toughness reducing damage of this attack. So this allows for those main enemies along with the smaller mobs to potentially have their entire shield broken. Of course, this is speculation as no real values or footage has been shown. However, the amount of toughness damage and weakness break Ruan Mei is providing to the team, it would not surprise me if the bosses in those waves get their shield broken from the start. Finally, after breaking an enemy target's weakness in this way, additionally deal to the enemy target break damage based on Ruan Mei's ice break damage. Essentially, Ruan Mei just wants to deal some extra damage to the enemy when they are weakness broken too. So on top of everything her technique does, she wants to deal some chip damage too, which is hilarious. They really wanted Ruan Mei to do just the most with this technique. So yeah, that's Ruan Mei's technique, which is a joke. She does too much and we still have a talent, skill and ult to go through. Ruan Mei's Salon increases speed for the team excluding Ruan Mei by a certain amount. When allies break an enemy target's weakness, Ruan Mei deals break damage based on her ice break damage to this target. I've already gone over the fact that speed won't really be as important to Ruan Mei as she can pop her technique so her skill is active straight away, so increasing speed for the rest of the team is insanely valuable. Also, when allies weakness break an enemy, Ruan Mei will also deal break damage, which should be a good chunk as building break effect on Ruan Mei seems like the way to go as I mentioned earlier. Ruan Mei skill. After using a skill, Ruan Mei gains overtone lasting for a certain number of turns. This duration decreases by 1 at the start of Ruan Mei's turn. When Ruan Mei has overtone, increases all allies' damage and weakness break efficiency. So essentially, the allies gain a damage increase buff and a weakness break efficiency buff lasting for a certain number of turns, which we will know when she officially drops. Now finally, the ultimate, and it seems like it also does a lot. Ruan Mei creates a field that lasts for a certain number of turns. The field's duration will reduce by 1 turn at the start of Ruan Mei's turn. Increases all type res penetration for all allies inside this field. So Ruan Mei will provide an increase in damage for all allies on her team, and the uptime of this ult is looking pretty good since the turns of this ult actually only goes down by 1 when it is Ruan Mei's turn. Also, when the enemies attempt to recover from the weakness break effect, the effect from Ruan Mei's ult will be triggered, which weakness breaks the enemies again and will prolong their recovery. So a pretty solid ultimate to conclude her kit, if I must say. Her whole kit in general is pretty broken, to put it simply. Ruan Mei is a must summon, no questions asked, and is looking to be the best support in the game. Now just a quick look at her light cone. I'll always advocate for signature light cones to not be a must. Of course they are great to have and may even change how the character will play out, but for those who don't spend, you would rather have a character than a light cone. There will also be other light cones you can use for a character. Okay, past self in mirror. Increases the wearer's break effect by 60%. That is huge as it will provide more of a damage increase to the team through her skill. When the wearer uses the ultimate, increases all allies damage by 24% for 3 turns. That's just a huge damage increase for the team. Should the wearer's break effect exceed or equal 150%, 1 skill point will be recovered. Okay, this light cone is a joke, so every time you pop her ult, you can recover a skill point throughout the battle. During the start of every wave, all allies will generate 10 energy. Yeah, this light cone is just as broken as Ruan Mei. I know I said signature light cones are not a must, but since Ruan Mei is going to be a must pull and will likely last for a while in this game, pulling for a light cone might not be the worst idea. It just holds so much value, so I can't say to skip it. It's really just down to you and your resources. Overall, Ruan Mei is just looking like a broken character. She just does too much for the team, and I don't think skipping her is an option. I really did not plan to summon for her, and now after having everything unveiled, I will have to summon, and I'm going to have to really consider pulling for her light cone also. She drops very soon, so truly the best of luck to all of you that are summoning for her. Ruan Mei's banner will also feature Yue Yi, the new 4-star, Tingyun and March, which are some of the best 4-stars, so the value this banner holds is immense, so best of luck truly. Well, that wraps it up. If you guys did enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel for more Honkai content and drop a like. Also leave a comment on your opinion on Ruan Mei and what you think about her. And yeah, hope to catch you guys later.